In fact, there's a second revivalism style on the right, just beyond the Apple Store. Looks like a French cathedral had a baby with an office building. That's the French Gothic revivalist style of the Tribune Tower. Taking away that style is the flying buttresses at the top, the archways with the gap. And I love a big buttress, I cannot lie. But as beautiful as both of these buildings are, again, not original designs. They get it from Europe and pasting them here. So they're beautiful, but they're Europe's beautiful buildings, they're not ours. Fast forward to modern day, architecturally, do the exact opposite. We're all about site-specific design called contextualism. These buildings factor the context of their environment and incorporate that in the design. A great example of contextualism is coming up in front of us. Our second tallest building, Trump International Hotel and Tower. Now you can notice there are 3 terraces or setbacks going up the building, which actually match the height of the surrounding buildings too. So that first terrace matches the height of the Wrigley building right next door. It mirrors its neighbor. Second terrace matches the Mather Tower, which is the white telescope building across the river from it. Third terrace matches the building just beyond it, a giant black box called the AMA building. Doesn't just match building height though, also matches building tone. Sandwiched between the all-white Wrigley building, the all-black AMA building, this bluish-grayish glass creates a transitional element between the two. Blends all of its surroundings together into a single design, which is why it doesn't work the same if you put it anyplace else in Chicago. It's collaborating with its neighbors, which means it only works right here. That's the beauty of contextualism. Speaking of this site, might look familiar. A lot of movies have filmed along this portion of Chicago. The popular ones are Divergent, Rampage, where The Rock fights a giant gorilla and alligator, destroys the whole area in that one. Did the same thing with Alien Robots instead, and Transformers 3, filmed in the Jewelers building there, that tan one with the dome shape on top. And also, the ending of The Dark Knight took place here. It's in a construction scene between the Batman and Joker. That was the unfinished Trump Tower. The movie came out in 2008, building finished 2009. Now if you are like me, and after the tour you do want to move here, you might want to move into this building we'll see on the other side. For a studio or 1 bedroom, the listings inside go for $1,300 to $2,000 a month. Which may not sound cheap depending on where you're from in the world, but for downtown Chicago with the river view, you're not going to find a better deal. It's these 2 corn cobs coming into view on the right. Meridian City Towers, iconic apartments from the 60s. And when they were built in the 60s, not a lot of other apartments down here either. So they're also self-sustainable. If you head inside, you can still find a fully functional grocery and liquor store, movie theater, bowling alley, swimming pool. The parking is contained on the lower levels. There are restaurants beneath that. And following this bridge on the right, you can actually see where it gets its name. It's attached to an actual functional marina. You can park your boat there too. You can access all of that from the building. It's got the traditional pediment. It's that triangle design you'll typically find above Greek and Roman temples. It's above the doorways down here too. This is a neoclassical design from the 1990s. Again, still borrowing European aesthetics from the past, like revivalism. But nowadays, instead of copying and pasting our design straight up like the Wrigley building, we make remixes. We take old forms of architecture, improve them with new technology like that glass, see what you get in the modern era when you combine those 2 elements. It's like sampling an old song and making a new one out of it. That's what we're doing architecturally now too. Also, eye level to the left is our Riverwalk, which is a fairly new addition in Chicago. Phase 3 finished in 2016. Cost $112 million. It added spots to grab a bite to eat or drink, an amphitheater. There are spots to go fishing or dip your kayak in. But my favorite addition with the Riverwalk was actually